semi-finals of Bake Off this week, Patisserie week, and I'm going to be making friands, which are little French cakes, and I'm going to be making raspberry and almond friands. So what we need for this, we need 115 grams of plain flour, 345 grams of icing sugar plus some extra for dusting if you want to dust them afterwards, 200 grams of butter, 230 grams of ground almonds, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 6 large egg whites lightly beaten, 230 grams of fresh raspberries, and I've got mine already washed here in my little cute colander. Every house should have one, a little colander. So we're going to get started by melting the butter. Before I get to work and melt the butter, let me just tell you I've had to buy a special tin for friands. This is the shape, if you can see. Now I'm not sure, this recipe asks for friands, and I think this is a mini friand tin. Well, silicone mould. So we'll see, maybe it just means that they'll cook a little bit quicker, but we'll find out. So this is what the friand shape is, the classic friand shape. We'll see how we get on. You need to preheat your oven to gas mark 5. Okay, I've just set to work melting 200 grams of butter. My friand tin I've put on a baking tray, with it being silicone so it's easier to move, because I can't imagine what moving that's going to be like. And I think the idea of silicone is you don't have to grease it, but I don't trust that, so I have greased mine as well, and this recipe does specifically ask you to. I don't want any disasters of friands sticking in my tin. So that's what we've done. So we're just going to get this melted, and then we can start mixing everything else together. Right, for anybody who doesn't know how to separate eggs, I'm just going to do that next, because we need to put this together quite quickly. So you could buy one of these fancy gadgets, because I love a kitchen gadget. Or you could do it the old-fashioned way and break your egg like so, and then just hold the egg yolk in your hand and let the white fall through your fingers. And that's one egg white and one yolk. Yes, I did buy the kitchen gadget a while ago, and I never bother using it. I always end up doing it this way, because it just seems another thing to messy. Your hands are already in there, breaking the egg anyway. So it just makes sense to do it like this. Okay, that's 5. There we go. These egg whites just need to be lightly beaten. Like so. So we've melted the butter. We're now going to sift together the plain flour and the icing sugar into a bowl. I hate sieving icing sugar. It makes a sticky mess. I've put the icing sugar in my sieve and the plain flour on top, hoping that the plain flour will keep the icing sugar dust down a little bit. It still looks like it's starting to snow in here. Talking of snow, it's supposed to snow next week. It's been very mild, November so far. What they're predicting around the 23rd of November, that is Bake Off Day next week. We're expecting -11 temperatures. Is that going to happen? We'll see. I might be baking in the snow next week. Not in the snow. Watching it from afar through the window. I won't be in it. Right, my pile of snow is in the bowl. And we're now going to add the remaining ingredients to it, apart from the raspberries. And we need to stir them until it's just combined. Okay. So I'll start with the ground almonds. 230 grams. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And the 6 egg whites. Okay. And we're going to mix all of that together. And then to this, once it's combined, we're going to add the melted butter that we melted earlier. It's looking good. It smells very nice. Okay, so we're just going to grab the melted butter. We're pouring that in. Mixing it again. This is a very strange mixture. Imagine this will make a very light cake. Like a batter rather than a cake mix. Starting to go in. It's taking its time. She doesn't follow a routine in the day, Annie. But she sleeps at night. She'll have a last feed around 7, half 7, and then she'll sleep through until 7 the next morning. I'm one of them parents everybody loves to hate. The early days though were not like that. No, she's only 6 months old at the minute. To start with, it was very difficult. There we are, that's all combined. Lovely batter. And we're going to put that into the mould. Now we need to fill them just over half full. Make that about there. I've got Poppy at home with me today as well, because she's feeling under the weather. She's just in the next room. watching telly, playing computer games, keeping occupied and making herself feel better. Now this should make 12 individual friands. I have got on this sheet 16 and a whole bowl full of batter left. So as suspected, these are mini friand tins. I need to top each one. It says with three or four raspberries. We're going to go for 2. I'll have to bake these. Wash the tin and refill it. I only have the one friand tin. They look nice though. So if you've got a regular friand tin or some mini loaf tins, could use those. You're going to be baking these for around 20 to 25 minutes. I will let you know how long these take in a moment. Let's pop them in the oven. I'm officially one of those bake-off people. I'm peering down into my oven to see how they're looking. Looking good. They're asking for people for the next series of bake-off. What do you think? Should I put my application in? I'll have a think. Here's my puppy. How you feeling?
Good.
Good. You're a bit under the weather, aren't you, pups? Right. So far, we've had 15 minutes. I'll let you know. I have a confession. I'm experimenting. As you know, my friand tin didn't house nearly enough of the mixture. So I've got impatient. I do have a baby that could wake at any moment, and I could keep washing the friand tin all day long. But instead, I've decided to fill a good old cupcake tin and see how they fare. I will let you know, and they will be going in when the others come out in just a moment. So here we are, just out of the oven. And we're looking at more 20 minutes for friands of this size. So I'm going to pop my other tray in and see how they fare. Here we are. We've been joined by Annie Mae, who's had a very big sleep.
And me.
And you. You're down there too.
Hello.
Whew.
Hi, sister.
Mummy's took her friands out of the oven and they look like they've come out really well. They're the ones that I did in the proper tin, and they're the ones in the cupcake tin. Yes, we're going to get them all out and have a look. I've just got one more tray in the proper friand tin.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Have you got your doggy? You love that doggy, don't you? You love that doggy, you do. Yes. You having a walk? Yes, Mum. Should we have a look at the friands now they're done? Let's have a look at the friands. Just over here. Da-da-da-da. So to the left, we have the proper friands. And to the right, we have the friands done in the cake tin. They both look very delicious.